Hey, good morning guys. My name is Strings, welcome to the channel. We're doing another Let's Try. This time we're trying a free-to-play MMO called ArcheAge. A bit of a hard name to pronounce for me, but well, it's doable. So yeah, pretty cool MMO. A lot of character creation options here. You can basically change everything of the characters that you want. All the characters have their own background story that is presented in a like you see here, with background with images that they zoom in on and zoom out on. Bit of a lame voiceover, but yeah, it's still pretty well done. The images are at least pretty nicely drawn. There are 4 races in total. Of course, you can select from male or female. You have 2 factions. One has a humanoid and elves, and the other side has these cats and also some human folk. The humans all look a bit Asian. I bet you can change that when you tweak enough with it. But yeah, it's originally it's a Korean game, so yeah. That's why I think all the people look a little bit Asian, but that's fine, I guess. If you really want to, you can change up the characters enough to make them look like you want them to. So that's yeah, it's pretty cool. Here I show just a bit of the depth in the races and stuff like that. Pretty cool hairstyle there. These are the classes, well, the starting classes I should say. You got 6 starting classes, which are Battle Rage, which is some kind of tank, a sword and shield thing. Sorcery, basic magic stuff, like fire and ice and stuff like that. Archery. Vitalism is like healing. Occultism is more like buffs and debuffs. Pretty cool. And they're called curses here and magic damage, but that's just the offensive spells. And shadow play is more like a rogue kind of dude. These basic classes that you choose, you do not have to stick to them. You can change them up later in the game, and I'll show a bit of that as well. This is how the game is presented. When you start up the game, you get a cutscene. Couldn't record it, frame rate was too bad. But after that you come into the server select screen with a really nice background tune. Really like it. Character creation screen or character selection screen. And then you just jump into the game. The game itself is presented through these cutscenes that we saw earlier with the images, the drawn images. And also some of the normal cutscenes as you see here. This is in-game footage. This is on the low settings, or else my PC can't really handle it. But if you have a high-end PC, this game will look awesome. If you just pump up the graphics, then yeah, it will look insane. It really does. So yeah, if you have a good PC, then for sure you should be playing it on the highest graphic settings. The quest system is basically the same as every MMO. Exclamation markers and question markers when you have finished the quest. The big difference here is that the green ones are only for your race and the yellow ones are for every race. This is a small part of the battle system. At the start it's pretty boring, the battles. Yeah, you only have 1 or 2 buttons to press, so yeah, not that much is happening. But once you hit level 5, you can get some new skills, and yeah, then it becomes interesting because you can do combos and stuff like that. And these green quests, so the class or the race specific quests, also have cutscenes like these pictures or images or drawings, however you want to call them. They're a bit better than the introductions, I'd say. The voiceovers are different, they're a little bit better, and yeah, I think they're a little bit better done. Overworld, pretty awesome. I really like the character, how they look. The armor sets are pretty awesome. Next clip. This is when I hit level 5 and I can choose a different class. There are a total of 10 classes, and you can combine them. At level 5 you can select a second class, and at level 10 you can select a third class. And basically your own class will start at level 10, because then you have combined 3 classes, and that will make a unique class that you really like, or that you thought would be fun. And then that class will get a name, and yeah, you basically start leveling those classes together. Yeah, this is the level 10 thing. I choose the Songcraft here. I already changed it. You can change every class that you picked. You can get a totally different class system. You can do that at certain shrines, and you have to pay, I think it's 20 silver for every class that you change. So if you didn't like the combination that you picked at start or whenever, then you can just change it, which is pretty cool. The mount system is pretty unique in this game. You have to raise your own mount first through a little mini game. a bit silly. I think they did it because it looks pretty cute, and that's the only reason why they did it. I guess it's you just sit there for 5 minutes and you press F a couple of times to interact with it, and that's about it. And then you have your mount. So don't really know why they did it, but yeah, hell, it's fun or something like that. So yeah, you have to interact with it, you have to dance with it, you have to feed it, you have to give it some water, and in the end it is fully grown, and then you have your mount and you can ride it. It's pretty cool. The whole atmosphere and music and stuff in this game is pretty cool. It's a pretty slow-paced MMO. You can rush through it. The leveling up is really fast. They give you some XP potions that you can get more XP. Here you have to dance for your mount. Pretty sick dancing moves, right? I see a friend of mine dancing like that. But that's besides the point. Yeah, there's some instruments in the game. You can play these tunes. It's basically for when you're in a party. The lute will give you HP back, and the flute, that's a different instrument, that will give you mana back. But once you have your mount, you can give it some armor as well, and yeah, you can just ride it. And it's pretty fast and pretty awesome. I really like the mounts, to be honest. Every race has its own mount. I'm not sure if you can change them up. I'm not that far into the game. I just tested it out for the weekend a bit, and there was a lot of League of Legends on TV. There was the World Championship has started, so while I was watching that, I was AFK a lot in this game. But that brings us to the next point. On the left bottom corner you have these labor points, and you need those labor points to for basically everything in the game. This is an example of farming. I'm planting some potatoes here, and yeah, you need labor points to plant them. Once you have planted them, you need to water them, and after that it's just basically waiting till the potatoes are done. The potatoes itself, they take 10 minutes to fully grown, and then you can harvest them, which will take labor points as well. And potatoes are the fastest growing crop. Every 5 minutes in the game you get 5 labor points, even if you're AFK, so that's pretty useful. Because some crops will take days to grow to its full size before you can harvest them. So if you like MMOs and you are interested in this game, then know beforehand that it will take a whole lot of time to get anywhere in this game. It's basically if you plant something the next day or maybe a week later, you return to it and then you can harvest the stuff. So it's not a fast-paced MMO. If you don't care about farming or anything like that, you can just battle your way through it, and there's no delay on it. You can just keep on doing that until the max level. It goes pretty fast. The labor points, you need them basically for everything in the game. Like I said, harvesting, but if you harvest the stuff, then you might want to make some stuff with it, right? That will take labor points as well. If you want to cut down a tree, it will take labor points. You want to mine some minerals, that will take labor points. Even the armor sets that you get from enemies, to decipher the armor set, because it's a question mark first, and then you get a randomized reaction when you right click it, and the armor that comes out of it is most of the time pretty good, but it will take you labor points to get to decipher them. There was mining, also labor points. Cutting down trees, labor points. If you the stuff that you mine up, or the wood that you have collected, if you want to work with that, it will take up your labor points. So I think that's a cool system, but it is also a bit of a negative of the game, because it just means that you have to play so much to get something, or at least go AFK for a long time. Just keep the server busy. And yeah, I'm just at the start of the game, so I don't know. Maybe it changes later. Maybe you can get the points in a different way. But for now, I don't know. For me, for my feel, it takes a bit too long. And this is an elite monster that I came across, and I had no chance. I had no chance at all. And so you definitely need a party to beat that dude. And then we come to another point that is a bit of a trouble with this game. It's more than a year old, I think, and basically nobody is playing in the lower level areas. So if you want to experience this game to its full potential, then I think you need to gather up some friends and play together with your friends, because excuse me, only that way you can really experience to its full potential. There's also housing in the game. I do believe if you want to build your own house and buy your own place, then you need to pay for the game. But I'm not really sure about that. There's also gliders in the game, which is pretty awesome. This one is one of the early game gliders. This is a pretty slow one. It reacts not that well to your controls, but I do believe there are better gliders that will be that you can use better. This one is so slow and it almost doesn't react, but there are gliders that do react very well to your movement. So yeah, this game reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy XI. I really like that about it, and I will definitely be playing this for every once in a while, just a couple of hours, and just mine some stuff or do some stuff and level up a bit. I enjoy the atmosphere in this game, but if you are not a hardcore MMO fan, I don't think this game will be something for you. But if you would like to give it a try, yeah, it's free on Steam. And I think you will be surprised. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Even for casual players that don't really want to go that deep. Okay, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And see you guys soon.